Environmental issues are also vitally important to the future of these Kenyan children. Here, already fragile soils must grow even more food to feed the fastest growing population in the world. All over the country, trees are being cut to meet the rising need for firewood and to clear the land for agriculture. 10 trees are cut for every one planted. After the trees are gone, there's nothing left to anchor the precious topsoil. So when the rains come, they carry it away, washing Kenya's future downstream to the Indian Ocean. Professor Wangari Maathai was one of the first to realize what a critical resource her country was losing.
I know for certain that the soil is the sustainer of life. Without it, we cannot live. On this continent, we have seen too much suffering, starvation, due to degradation of the soil. And it has taken millions of years to build this topsoil. It is so important to protect it, because if we don't, we are on our way to the end.
For Wangari Maathai, the best way to protect the soil was to appeal to farmers. And in Africa, that usually means women. So she started a movement that women could not only join, but lead. Persuading women who work 12 hours a day in the fields to do even more isn't easy. But Dorika Imbunga and her mother, along with 50,000 others, rose to the challenge. They joined Maathai's Green Belt movement, a national effort to plant trees like these to provide firewood and protect soil. Or like these, to nourish crops and yield a bonus of fruit as well. Before the Green Belt movement started, it used to take Dorika 24 hours each week to gather her firewood. Now it takes half that time. And there's more to eat, too. Her harvests have improved, and there's fruit from the trees she planted. Dorika is organizer of the local Greenbelt chapter, and today they're welcoming their national leader, Wangari Maathai. Supported by international aid, the movement is widely regarded as one of the world's most successful attempts to combine community development with environmental protection. Completely deforested land like this is widespread in Kenya, and here Dorika's chapter is doing something about it. New seedlings often die without care, so members get a small fee for each tree that survives. But planting ideas is as important as planting trees. Wangari Maathai.
We deliberately decided to focus on an activity that anybody could participate in. Anybody can hurry, children, grown-ups. It's very easy to dig a hole and put a tree. So people don't feel like, well, the problem is enormous, but I can do nothing. This is something that everybody can do. During the tree planting campaign, you then bring out all the other issues that are very much related. The issues of food production, firewood crisis, soil erosion, desertification, all these are part and parcel of what we are discussing. But when we first discuss, we started with our immediate problems, the local problems, the problems we can see every day.
As Maathai understands, the local problems are the result of many competing pressures on Kenya's land and forests. Export crops like tea and coffee must be grown to pay off a crippling foreign debt. The famous game parks take up a lot of land, too, 10% of the country, but they also bring in vital income. Of course, tourists want souvenirs to take home from their safari. Wood carvings are especially popular. Many Kenyans make carvings for their living, but that also contributes to deforestation. The only way to sustain all this is to plant more trees than you cut. From the beginning, Maathai made environmental education a priority for the Green Belt movement. Over 1 million young people have been recruited to plant green belts around their schools and to care for the seedlings until they're growing well. Children often take the ideas home and get their parents involved. After a dozen years, the Green Belt movement is going strong. More than 7 million trees like these have been planted all over Kenya. The Green Belt movement has persuaded people living in poverty that planting trees will make a difference in their struggle to survive.
Sometimes I get very discouraged because the problems are just enormous, and although the people are very willing, sometimes they really think that you can solve all these problems at once, and you can't. But sometimes I also get very encouraged, especially when I see these trees growing in the nursery, or when they're so big that you see the farmers happy in their fields. It's very satisfying. So I go up and down all the time, and most of the time I think I'm on the better side.